Hey, good morning, everybody. Man, it's great to be with you on what is this? Wonderful Wednesday? Man, I'm going to rejoice and be glad. Why? Because this is the day the Lord has made. And man, I'm trying to get over a cold. Got a little something there in my throat, but I hope I can get through it this morning. And you pray for me as I continue the rest of the week. And just got another full week again. Amen. That's the way it always is. And so we just seem like it's just never ending. Amen. But we can still what? Rejoice and be glad. Why? Because this is the day the Lord has made, and I'm going to. Man, what a great quiet time this morning. Jesus comes to his disciples and he says this, if you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love. Now, a lot of people will read this John chapter 15 and think to themselves, man, I can never live up to that because, God just spells it out there that the way that we get through life, the way that God blesses us, the way that God just walks with us is when we follow his commandments. And so we sometimes think, man, if I don't follow his commandments, does that mean God doesn't love me anymore? Nothing could be farther from the truth. Here's what it does mean is that when we follow God's commandments, that's when we receive the true blessings of life and follow his will. Now, a lot of people struggle with what his will is, but let me tell you, here's an easy solution to understanding what the will of God is. Do this one thing right here, and you will be 99% down the way of doing what the will of God is following his commandments. In this same passage, and I put this in my quiet time reading, he says, love one another. So if we are, as God's people, loving each other instead of fighting and bickering and carrying on, this happens in lots of churches. I want to talk this Sunday about Thanksgiving and how that we can be just grateful and thankful for all that God has done for us. And I'm looking forward to that message. But, one of the things in that message that we have to understand is that churches sometimes are those that really are the worst offenders of this. The world could just get along with each other sometimes and sometimes not, depending on politics and all that kind of stuff. But we in churches, man, if there's any place that we should get along with one another and love one another and lift one another up is in a church. Man, if you've struggled with that and you've said, man, I just ain't going to church no more, come to Grace Church. Give us a chance. We'll give you a second chance. And it's a second chance for you. And that's what God always does. Even though sometimes we just don't really follow God's will like we should, we can still learn from the failures that we have in our life. And maybe, maybe you've been guilty of not loving as you should. And maybe you've been on the other end of that where you haven't been loved. Haven't we all? And man, now's the time to make a restart, a reset, a refreshing new start in our walk with the Lord. But just doing this one simple thing, following his commandments, loving one another, loving God with all your heart, mind, and soul. That's what God commands. Amen. So let's do it today, right now, this moment, this morning. God bless you. We'll see you next time. Bye.